Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Andy, and welcome to this week's Team Kentucky Update. We're going to start where we always start, with Kentucky's economy and the hard work we put in to make sure that our families have good jobs that can support them, put food on the table, and provide opportunities for the next generation. Since the beginning of this administration, we've now announced over 1,200 new location and expansion projects for a record $43 billion in new private sector investment. The best news is these announcements are creating well over 63,000 new Kentucky jobs. The incredible growth would not be possible without our booming manufacturing industry, which stretches to every corner of the state. Kentucky is a proud leader, national leader in manufacturing. We rank #1 in vehicle production, #1 in electric vehicle battery production, and the list goes on and on. There are over 6,000 manufacturing facilities in Kentucky, including iconic companies like GE Appliances, Ford, Toyota, and many more that have made Kentucky their new Kentucky home. I'm proud to celebrate this industry and all those who make it so successful. So today, I'm officially proclaiming October as Manufacturing Month in the Commonwealth. Manufacturing has been central to Kentucky's growth, especially these past 5+ years, and it continues to drive our economic momentum. The industry is also helping to raise wages for all of our families. The average incentivized hourly wage has now topped over $26 an hour for 3 straight years. That's the first time in our history that that has happened. Manufacturing represents over 12% of our state's workforce. That is significantly higher than the national average of 8%. The industry also contributes $47.5 billion to the state's gross domestic product. Manufacturers help fuel key industries in the Commonwealth, including automotive, EV, aerospace, distribution, logistics, metals, healthcare, food and beverage, agri-tech, and many more. More things are being made here. And I want to thank everyone in Kentucky's amazing workforce who makes it all possible. Some of these folks are here with us today, and I'm proud to invite up the members of the Kentucky Association of Manufacturers who are going to present the proclamation. Today, we've got Frank Jimley, Caroline Scott, and Shelley Goodwin, all from the Kentucky Association of Manufacturers.
Thank you, Governor.
Good timing.
Good to see you,
Yes.
sir.
Thank you all for what you do, and we have officially proclaimed October as Manufacturing Month in the Commonwealth.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you all. All right. We get one big picture over here?
Sure. Here we go. We've done this before.
Once or twice. All right. And this goes with y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Good to see
Thank
you.
you, sir.
Thanks for your work. Once again, thank you to this group and all our manufacturers, and happy Manufacturing Month in the Commonwealth. Next, we have an update on the work we're doing to make our roads and bridges safer in Kentucky. When we see road work, we need to be thinking about what it means for our future. These projects mean safer travel for our families. They mean less congestion and traffic delays, and it means potholes getting fixed and less wear and tear on our tires. I get that construction can be a hassle, but I'd rather improve a road before the next accident, and I'd rather repair a bridge before it falls. Speaking of Kentucky's bridges, they don't just connect our roads. They connect our families to jobs, schools, and communities. Last November, I announced a new bridge program to make sure that local bridges were safe and sound. The County City Bridge Improvement Program provides local communities funding to repair and replace critical bridges. So far in 2025, we've issued 3 rounds of funding totaling $25 million. Today, I'm excited to announce another $7.7 million in awards. This funds 17 projects in 13 counties and 3 cities across Kentucky. The majority of the projects will replace existing bridges with brand new crossings. They are 12 bridge replacements and 5 bridge repairs. We've got videos from 3 county judges to give you a flavor of how important, impactful, and meaningful these projects are. First up, a word from Judge Executive Terry Adams of the Letcher County Fiscal Court, Letcher County is receiving $811,000 to replace a bridge on Bill Lewis Hollow that has weight restrictions.
I'm Terry Adams, Letcher County Judge Executive. I'm joined by Matt Ambergy, my assistant. We're here at the Bill Lewis Bridge here in Letcher County today. It's a part of the city-county bridge improvement program, and it was awarded to do a complete rebuild on. We've worked on this project quite a while, yeah. But we are very much appreciative of the program. I want to thank Governor Beshear's office and Bobby Joe Lewis and all those from the transportation department that's helped us along this way. Locally, we didn't really have the funds to rebuild this bridge like it needed to be, and we are very much appreciative of the program and all those involved, the legislature, and just can't say enough about Governor Beshear's office and his staff for helping us along the way.
Thank you to Judge Adams, both for his leadership here and also his leadership both during the flooding and in the rebuilding since. Next, Judge Executive Stan Humphreys of the Trigg County Fiscal Court. We're awarding Trigg County $620,000 to replace a bridge on North Tanyard Road.
Hi, this is Judge Executive Stan Humphreys here in Trigg County. Standing here on what we call the Tanyard Road, and just talking about the City-County Bridge Improvement Program. We're standing here at a bridge that's going to be replaced here in Trigg County. I just got the news about that, and I want to just say thank you for the hard work and dedication it's taken to put this in action. I want to thank, of course, the Governor Beshear, the work he's doing, our Secretary, our Commissioner, Bobby Joe Lewis, Craig Cottle, and the Rural Municipal Aid staff. Also, I want to thank our District 1 folks over at Paducah, Kyle Pope, and all the folks who make this really a process. The legislature, for sure, making this program available to us, seeing fit that rural communities like ours don't get left out, have an opportunity to improve our roads and bridges through funding that would not be available to us locally here in the county. So just a big thank you from Trigg County. Appreciate the hard work, dedication. Keep up the good work.
Thank you to Judge Humphreys, and I think he gets points in the video for being at the bridge, which also was the first video. Next, Judge Executive Timothy Graves of Washington County is receiving $900,000 for a bridge replacement on Sulphur Lick Road.
I'm Timothy E. Graves, Washington County Judge Executive. I'm here on Sulphur Lick Road in front of a bridge that we applied for in the County City Bridge Improvement Program for replacement. It's been lowered to 3 tons. We're so thankful here in Washington County to have leaders like Governor Beshear and Secretary Gray, Commissioner Lewis, and our legislative body to fund programs like these. Small counties just cannot come up with the amount of money it takes to replace bridges this size. So we are very thankful from Washington County for these funds.
That apply for this program, that know the needs of their communities. And it's been a great pleasure in this job to be able to work on a nonpartisan basis to address things like repairing our roads and bridges with these great local leaders. Including today's awards, we have now funded 75 bridge projects totaling $32.7 million with this new program. Next, we have news from Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman on a new way we're working to help keep our law enforcement members and the public safe.
Thank you, Governor. Last month, I joined the Kentucky State Police to break ground on the new driver's skill pad, which is expected to be completed by June of next year. This $2.7 million project will provide a safer environment for troopers, officers, and cadets. They will train in critical driving skills like high-speed pursuit and emergency response driving. These training exercises are designed to improve officer performance, reduce crashes, and enhance safety across the Commonwealth. And in true KSP fashion, the agency is collaborating by opening this facility to law enforcement from across Kentucky, saving them hours of travel for critical in-service training as well. This project has been a priority because our heroes deserve a safe place to enhance these skills so that they can be ready for any situation that they face. We ask a lot of our law enforcement officials. And while we are never truly able to repay them for the work that they do to protect us, one way that we can show our appreciation is by giving them the resources they need to be successful and safe in their work. The Kentucky State Police lost 37 heroes in the line of duty, with nearly half of those from vehicle-related crashes. For years, the agency has relied on borrowed facilities from Kentucky and in neighboring states to complete this essential training. The new skills pad will allow troopers to train year-round at their academy. So thank you to the Kentucky State Police Foundation for raising money for this facility, and thank you to the General Assembly for working with us to allocate the funding needed to make this project a reality. We have a video from the groundbreaking highlighting what this facility will mean to the Commonwealth. It's in Trooper Chrisman's honor and the 36 additional fallen KSP troopers and officers who made the ultimate sacrifice that we break ground on this skills pad today. When completed, this facility will not only serve every cadet, but also every trooper that comes through this academy. This new skills pad will provide a safer environment for our cadets and troopers to further develop and refine skills in high-speed pursuit, evasive maneuvers, pursuit intervention tactics, and more. That's why Governor Beshear and I have prioritized the opening of this top-notch facility. Our Kentucky State Police troopers will no longer have to travel long hours and sometimes out of state to complete this important training. All right, so today we also have Dr. Stack with us to give us a recap on the first year of our Healthy Kentucky Home Challenge. Dr. Stack?
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. Good afternoon, Team Kentucky. So as the first year of the Our Healthy Kentucky Home campaign comes to a close, I want to take a moment to reflect on the incredible journey it has been and what we've accomplished together. We began the Our Healthy Kentucky Home journey back in November of 2024 with a statewide call to action to eat 2 servings of fruits or vegetables every day, exercise at least 30 minutes 3 times per week, and engage with others to stay socially connected. This campaign was built on a simple belief. When every Kentuckian has the opportunity to live a healthier life, our entire Commonwealth becomes stronger. Over the past 11 months, we've come together across communities, workplaces, schools, and homes to share tools, resources, and stories that make healthier living possible for all of us. From learning how small lifestyle changes can prevent chronic disease, to connecting families with local resources for nutrition, active living, and mental health, to celebrating even the smallest steps we can take every day to improve our overall health and wellness, we've seen the positive impacts of our efforts to support each other in achieving better health and wellness. Throughout this campaign, we have strived to build healthier homes, healthier neighborhoods, and a healthier state. Even though we are wrapping up year 1, this isn't an end. In fact, it's only a beginning. Every small step, every healthy meal, every walk with a neighbor, every check-in on a friend builds the kind of Kentucky we all want to call home. Over this past year, we've also highlighted important resources available to Kentuckians in times of need. One of these is the 988 Suicide and Crisis Hotline. Staying socially engaged improves both our mental and physical health. It's important to remember, though, that it's okay not to be okay, and none of us should feel alone when times are tough. For those who may be experiencing a behavioral health crisis or having thoughts of suicide, the 988 hotline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to listen and connect you to help and support. And while eating healthier, exercising, and staying socially engaged improves our health and well-being, many of us still need treatment for chronic health conditions. Thankfully, modern medical science has enabled us to live longer, healthier lives. But many of the medications that make this possible are expensive and at times unaffordable for folks who need them. Thankfully, the Kentucky Prescription Assistance Hotline is here to help. If you find you are unable to afford your medications for diabetes or other chronic health conditions, please call 1-800-633-8100. That's 1-800-633-8100 to see if we can help. We've covered a lot of topics during this first year of our journey together. So during the month of October, the Our Healthy Kentucky Home campaign will look back on the last 11 months of this campaign, highlighting special resources and inspirational stories from across the Commonwealth. We will also promote year 2 of the Our Healthy Kentucky Home campaign and give you a sneak peek at what's to come. To learn more about the Our Healthy Kentucky Home campaign, please visit our website at ourhealthykyhome.ky.gov. It's never too late to join the Our Healthy Kentucky Home journey, where we work together to ensure that every Kentuckian achieves better health and reaches their full potential. Governor?
Last week, we hosted a second screening of Rising, a documentary from Team Kentucky. This tells the story of strength and resilience in Eastern Kentucky following the deadly 2022 floods. The screening took place at the Grand Theater here in Frankfort, and it was followed by a roundtable discussion with Frankfort Mayor Lane Wilkerson, Franklin County Judge Executive Michael Mueller, Kentucky State Police Pilot Major Brad Austin, and YouTube weatherman Ryan Hall. All proceeds from the film benefit the Team Kentucky Storm Relief Fund. I'm proud to say that through this event and the premiere in Prestonsburg, we raised nearly $9,000 in donations that are going to help our people in their time of need. If you'd like to support the fund and get your own Rising gear, you can check out the website at rising.ky.gov to see t-shirts, hats, and more. The fund is still open for people to donate. Visit Team teamkystormrelieffund.ky.gov. Every dollar donated goes to help storm survivors. I want to thank everybody who attended both of these events. It is an inspirational documentary that I think reminds us that we can do difficult things if we work together. Now for an update on medical cannabis. Since taking office, my administration has been committed to providing access to health care and safe communities for all Kentuckians. One of our priorities is ensuring that Kentuckians that are suffering from serious medical issues like cancer, PTSD, or multiple sclerosis can have safe access to medical cannabis as soon as possible to get the relief they need. Today, I'm pleased to announce that while licensed operators are already growing safe medical cannabis, we're about to grow a whole lot more. This morning, after passing its final inspection, the Office of Medical Cannabis has approved another cultivator to begin cultivation activities here in Kentucky. And this one is a big one. Natural State Greengrass Canna Co. is a Tier 3 cultivation facility, one of the 2 largest cultivation facilities in Kentucky. This facility is located in Madison County and plans a phased rollout of cultivation operations. They'll eventually expand to all 25,000 square feet of cultivation space. This operator and so many more will help us ensure for years to come that Kentuckians suffering from serious medical conditions can get the relief they deserve. And finally, for our Team Kentucky Allstars, this is a pretty incredible story. Last week, Arlen Alvarez was in her home when she heard a scary sound. A woman experiencing a medical emergency had crashed a vehicle in her backyard. Arlen quickly jumped into action to help the driver. Soon after, Trenton Police Chief Henry Hamlet arrived. He saw Arlen working to break the car's windows and began to help her as a fire broke out in the car. After a lot of hard work to pry the vehicle open, the 2 rescued the woman before the car was engulfed in flames. They saved her life. That's what Team Kentucky is all about, helping neighbors and being there when our fellow Kentuckians need it the most. Arlen and Police Chief Hamlet showed incredible bravery in what was a very scary moment. Their selflessness and quick action made all the difference. And so I'm proud to name them our Team Kentucky All-Stars. Arlen and Chief Hamlet, thank you. All right, now to our journalists. We have one here in studio. We'll start with Karen from WUKY.
Hi, Governor. Thank you. We're in day 2 of the federal government shutdown. How is it so far affecting Kentucky? We know employees obviously are being affected. What is this going to mean for programs in Kentucky? And for employees, Are there any state programs that can help them make ends meet?
So we are in day 2 of a federal government shutdown. You never want to see a government shutdown, and we are thinking about, and we should be checking on all those Kentucky families that work for the federal government that are currently furloughed and not receiving their salaries. It is going to be really difficult on them. But what we're seeing in Washington, D.C. Is Democrats fighting to keep the cost of health care affordable. What Republicans have done, and without intervention, what will happen is a loss of help for those that get their insurance through the Affordable Care Act marketplace. And that will cause on about 100,000 Kentuckians significant increases in premiums, but it impacts the entire market. And so just about everyone's healthcare costs, which are already too high, will go up. Pair that with the significant cuts in Medicaid, where 200,000 Kentuckians are going to lose their coverage and 20,000 Kentuckians are going to lose their job. And what you see is people fighting so that the American family, the average American family, can actually pay their bills and see a doctor. So it's complicated and it's tough, but certainly we're thinking about each of those families. Most programs that come through Kentucky will continue. We've done it before. We'll do it again, but we'll be monitoring it day to day. And for those families, I'm hoping that neighbors will check in with them. We don't have direct programs depending on how long the shutdown lasts, but certainly want to find any way that we can help these Kentuckians.
So WIC and SNAP benefits?
WIC and SNAP benefits will continue. Certainly at this time, we think that they will continue regardless, but we'll be watching it day to day and getting advice. Now, our current president seems to think he can just cancel any program anywhere that he would like, depending on the leadership of that state. That's not legal. That will be challenged in court, but you can't negotiate through blackmail. And that's what's happening right now. If you don't vote the way I want you to vote, is what the president is saying, then he's going to cancel $18 billion in projects that are already ongoing. You can't do that. Congress appropriates those dollars. President doesn't have the legal ability, but it also doesn't create any space to actually be able to sit down at the table. And let me just say, if the president is going to fire thousands of federal employees, that's on him. He can't blame that on anybody else. Why? Because in other shutdowns, it hasn't happened. Our families are not a prop. They are not to be used as negotiating tactics or for leverage. And so I hope everybody knows that this president doesn't have to fire any federal employee. And if he does, it's because he wants to. Okay, next we have Zara from Bloomberg News on the line. Okay, we'll move on to Tom Latek from Kentucky Today.
Federal government shutdown and your fear of the budget situation in Kentucky. How is both of these things together going to affect state government operations?
It's a good question. So the question is, with the federal shutdown and what we're seeing in both our current budget and what we might see next, how is that going to impact things in Kentucky? Well, we are going to have to live within our means. And as services and everything else now costs more, but we typically have a flat amount of money, what we're going to have to do is readjust certain programs like we recently have. None of us wanted to adjust the TANF payments, but there is a set amount of money for that program. Yet there are more families that qualify. And so either we were going to have to change that benefit or deny families from coming into the program and getting any help at all. These aren't going to be easy decisions, but fiscal responsibility is critical. We can't spend more money than we have. And remember, a budget sets an upper limit. You can't spend beyond it. And we've seen a number of programs where in the past, with maybe some flexible ARPA funds, we've been able to do more, but we don't have those anymore. And so that budget is a legal limit. We've got about a $300 million hole in our current budget, and that is almost directly caused by tariffs. When you look at the consensus forecasting group, the higher the tariff from the U.S., the higher inflation and the lower the growth in our economy. And we're already seeing it. A Georgetown company is going to lay off 100 people at a furniture manufacturer, mainly because of tariffs. So unfortunately, Donald Trump's tariff policies are going to result in us having less state dollars, much less federal dollars to meet the needs of our people. But we are going to do our very best. We're going to make sure that we lead with our values, especially in what we make whole and we don't cut. And what you can expect from us is an administration that always prioritizes education, healthcare, infrastructure, certainly our public schools, job creation, and public safety. Next, we've got Anna Medina from WTVQ.
Good afternoon, Governor. Earlier this week, State Senator Brandon Smith sent you a letter in which he urged you to sign a death warrant authorizing the execution of Ralph Bays. As we know, Kentucky has not had an execution since 2008. Adding that justice delayed is justice denied. So what do you say to Senator Smith and families who, so to speak, are awaiting justice?
Yeah, the last order that came from the Franklin Circuit Court, the court that has stayed any future executions, capital punishment in Kentucky, said a number of things, but one of its holdings was we did not have a regulation that would be necessary before signing any death warrant. So that regulation is going through the process right now. It is filed. It is in the current schedule. And that's the step that had to be taken first under that order. And that's the step that's being taken. Isaiah Kim Martinez.
Thank you, Governor. I was just curious what your opinion is on the supplement called Kratom, its use in Kentucky, and the laws and rules on the books to regulate it in the state.
Yeah, Kratom can be very dangerous. It is regulated now under law by DPH, the Department for Public Health. Regulations are being composed right now. There is a team within DPH that does other tasks that's going to be able to monitor its sale across the state. And so we'll certainly need to be watching, but also regulating it firsthand. Next, Richard Essex from WDRB. Okay, Ian Hardwick from WHAS.
Thank you, Governor Beshear. I talked yesterday to Louisville's mayor and police chief. They said they would be in support of having automatic traffic enforcement cameras here. I know that would take some legwork on Frankfurt's end to make that happen statewide. Is that something you would push for when the General Assembly reconvenes next year?
Ian, would you ask that question again? We were having a little audio issue.
Sure. Yesterday, I talked to Louisville's mayor and police chief. They indicated support for automatic traffic enforcement cameras. I know those are allowed in highway work zones, so it would take some work from Frankfurt to make that happen in other places. Is that something you'll support going into the General Assembly next year?
Yeah, certainly we passed a law last year that allows us to have camera enforcement of traffic laws, especially speeding in construction zones. We have lost far too many Kentuckians, whether that's in our transportation cabinet or contractors, to people driving recklessly in a zone where Kentuckians are working and deserve to be able to go home to their families at the end of the day. I do support extending these throughout Kentucky and would work with the General Assembly on any changes or how we further expand them. Now, they can also free up law enforcement. And at a time when families aren't necessarily feeling safe in certain parts of the country, this is one tool where we can protect our people that are working on our roads and free up a law enforcement to be within our community. So we ought to think about how we use technology and how we can move resources to better protect both our folks that are out there working hard on infrastructure and also those that are worried about crime. All right, that is it for this week's Team Kentucky. We'll be back next week, Thursday at 1 p.m. Until then, do good things, Be kind to each other. See you next week.